Today, we're going to help your brand emerge from the pandemic with the strongest marketing position possible. There's absolutely no doubt that COVID has changed the way that we talk to each other. Who would have imagined phrases like Zoom, team, social distancing, furloughed, essential, takeout, and vaccine eligibility being so prevalent in our conversations? Brands have also changed the way they talk to customers, and this is very important. It makes the content that brands are producing more important than ever. And we really take a look at starting that content with stories. And in our model, there's stories, which is really the origin. It's the opportunity to tell why you're in business to the customer. Then there's marketing, which tells that story across a bunch of different media. And advertising, which also helps you get in front of new customers, which is very important. The customers want to know why you're in business, what's in it for them, and why they should care. There's a ton of competition out there right now, which makes it very important to tell this in a clear and concise way, using all the vehicles available to you. And what we've really learned from COVID-19 is that you need to know your customer. You need to start there. What are their needs? What media are they using? How are they interacting with brands? What's important to them? They also want to see your story told visually. Photography, videos, how your website presents the information. All of these are very important, because the words and the videos and all of the imagery reflects your personality. It's the tone, if your brand were a person, how they would interact with someone. This is very important. You want to take the opportunity to bring your product to life in front of them. There's a product that serves a need, and there's a product that really has that opportunity for an emotional connection. And with a sea of competition, you want to get as close as you can to an emotional connection. You're going to be vulnerable, not perfect, not absolutely polished. Photos don't have to be staged, they can be raw. People want to see the real you. They want you to be transparent, and your content should reflect that. There's an opportunity to expose your brand behind the scenes. What does it look like to walk in the shoes of one of the employees for your business? What's a day in the life of look like? Is there an opportunity there to get the customer a little closer to your brand by showing team member stories and photos and videos? Because you're celebrating it. You're celebrating the team and the community. You need to be a part of the context of the community, and the content that you're creating is essential for doing that. And how you win is you speak the customer's language. They listen at that point. You're not a brand that's talking at them. You're a brand that's speaking with them. In addition to talking differently to each other, buyer behavior has changed. How has your brand dealt with that? Have you kept up? Some might call it entertainment. Others might call it distraction. But there's a lot going on in your customers' lives, and your share of mind is very small at that point. Closures, businesses, unemployment, family, paycheck to paycheck. These are the things that are weighing on customers right now. And you need to be sensitive to that because they want to be engaged. They want a brand that's going to talk their language, take their mind off of things, if not for just a minute. Those are the brands that they're listening to and engaging with. And post-pandemic, these are the brands that they're going to turn to and show their appreciation and respect with dollars. So we go back to our model. Again, we always start with story, and marketing is the opportunity to get that story out in all the ownable and controlled media, website and social efforts and such. And then advertising is getting that message in front of a larger group. But focusing right now on marketing, we want to send the open invitation to give customers an opportunity to take part in the brand. They want that relationship. They want a deeper relationship with a lot of brands. It's not for every brand, but for those brands that cost a little bit more, those brands that have a ton of competitors, they want to connect with a brand that lines up with their values, what matters to them. So invite them to be a part of your business. What we've learned in COVID is that now is the time. Now is the time for marketing. Now is the time to actively tell your story, not shy away from marketing and shy away from customer engagement. Lean into it. Own it. Take a position. Refresh your website starting with your About Us page and show the virtual events that you're doing. Show some behind the scenes video. Give them your story in a very visual, engaging way, and they will respond. You're also going to want to get really active, if not already, on your social channels. You're going to want to put together a content calendar, which talks about your upcoming events, your new product releases, anything that's really exciting and engaging about your brand, and you're going to want to promote that on social media. And then you leave yourself the time for real-time posts. You give yourself the flexibility to post in real time something that's happening in your store, with your brand, with your business. If events are a part of your strategy, we'll be there soon. Getting in front of people, letting people touch and feel the product, asking you questions. This is a very, very valuable marketing touch point, and we're getting to the point where states are opening, and this will be another opportunity for your brand. Partnering with the community is vital. Making sure they see you as a good corporate citizen, however that plays out, whether that's give-backs or partnerships or just recognizing the community for allowing your business to exist and the community members that are customers. Refine your online storefront. If you've got the ability to sell online, this is a great time to make sure that your e-commerce process, your checkout process, is absolutely bulletproof and really tight. Once things open back up, you may not have the luxury of time. And so working on these housekeeping or spring cleaning items now is really going to benefit you when things start to get crazy again in a good sales way. And lastly, email is not dead. We really like the content that's delivered by email and the calls to action that are in there. It's an opportunity for us to really quickly connect with a consumer base. And so if you have a database of newsletter subscribers and customers who have purchased online, definitely use that. Incorporate it into your content calendar. Actively promote your product and anything that's going on around your business. Actively promote that on email. Customer service right now is vital. What we would suggest is that you really take a look at how your team members interact on social, the website, email, and other forms of communication with customers, including in person, and really have a way of de-escalating any situations that might arise. The last thing that you want is social media and other backlash for a poorly handled customer service interaction. Try and find a middle ground where you can take conversations offline and really strive to create a win-win situation for everybody involved. And how you win in this case is that you stand out in the customer's mind, especially with respect to all of the competitors out there. Many businesses experience points of sales increases and declines, seasonality. There's a certain predictability in that. If we've learned anything from COVID, it's that the normal sales rules and models don't apply. They've been upended, and in some cases, like many businesses, organic sales are really just shrinking. That could be for any number of reasons, whether that's employment or lack of employment, shifting personal finances, and just defensive posturing. People who don't know what's around the corner, and so they're buckling down for the worst of it. Self-preservation to a certain extent, right? What's been said in the past is definitely true today, and that's your business needs to find 3 new customers to replace every single current customer. Customer attrition is a fact. It happens. Very few businesses are immune to it. And so you need new customers, and you need to find ways to connect your content in a very engaging way with a new audience. Advertising is a great way to amplify your messaging. Once you have something that's really strong, getting it out to new audiences. And you really want to share your strongest stories. Share the ones that are resonating the most with your current customers, the ones that they're engaging with, whether that's social media posts or pages on your website. And what we've learned during COVID is that it's time to aggressively target new buyers. Go after those new customers. Don't be shy about it. And the way to do so is to have really engaging lifestyle imagery. The videos, everything that shows the personality and soul of your brand. Boosting social posts, if you haven't already activated your ads account for Google AdWords, Google Display Advertising, social on Facebook and Instagram, do so, because a small amount of money can get those messages out to much larger audiences. New audiences who are ready to see your messaging. The community, there are opportunities for us every single day. Different groups reaching out for support or alignment or partnership, and using what you know about your brand and your story as a filter, you can select which opportunities are right to get your message out to people and really extend that content reach you've worked so hard on. And how you win is you're immediately relevant to new customers. And that certainly helps your brand and your sales. And with the goal of having the strongest brand possible on the other side of this, there's got to be something else, right? What else can you do as a brand to get your content in front of the right people? Sometimes all these efforts still result in lackluster sales and engagement. And so you have to tap into something else, tap in a little deeper. You're fighting with customer distractions and a lot of noise out there from different competitors. Sometimes it's just fatigue. Sometimes it's consumers who just don't want to be marketed to anymore. And we can certainly understand that individually, right? One way to get additional eyeballs on your messaging and your content is to absolutely take the position of authority in a customer's mind. And this is tough, but what we strive to do is combine all three of these to really unleash that story to new customers. That's taking a look at story, marketing, and advertising. And the hybrid between the three of them is really public relations. And how many of your brands are distributing your content, delivering your content by way of a solid press release on a regular basis? We haven't found that many who are doing it effectively. And while it definitely takes time and energy and a little bit of cost, it's highly effective at prompting those conversations that get you the third-party visibility and credibility. That's important for a customer, almost as important as a family member or a friend recommending your brand. So what we've learned during COVID is that you need to become newsworthy. This is extremely important. You need to identify those opportunities to disrupt the norm. And you know what those stories are right now. Stories plaguing us every day about COVID cases and vaccine rollout and the politics therein. Find a way to disrupt the news cycle. Double down on your support of the community. Make it a point to tell people about it. Design a press release template that you can use at any time and plan a calendar of press releases to really notify your respective industry of what you're doing. Share that engaging content with them. Let them talk about it. And then, of course, once you distribute it, track the performance of it, because what you don't want to do is let it out there and not learn from the response. And this is great content for your website, so always find a way to archive that press release content on your website. And how you know you've won? Because you've earned the attention and the trust of that new customer. Our challenge to you: tighten up your content strategy. Engage your customers in new and meaningful ways. Then go after new customers and unleash your public relations engine. Aligning on these storytelling basics will help your brand emerge from the pandemic in the strongest marketing position possible. My name is Scott Colby. I'm an advisor at Market Your Craft, and I thank you for watching our presentation today.